Hello, I'm Dr. Ayo Adenuga. Remember in 2019 when the news of pandemic broke, everyone across the globe was in panic, and the question was, how terrible is this? So, pandemic came and has dealt a very devastating blow on the inhabitants of the globe. But that is not the only thing about pandemic, that is talking about COVID-19 pandemic. Today, I want to highlight on the role of pandemic in technology acceptance and growth. That is looking at the brighter side of life, even in the midst of fatalities. Okay, so the break of COVID-19 came with a lot of uncertainties, panic, and many questions about what the future holds. However, one common question to all nations was, are we going to be impacted by the outbreak? The government of countries, including the world superpowers, were not left out of the jittery and confusion on how to keep the virus at bay. Unfortunately, the COVID-19 virus had widely spread to nations before they could shut their port of entries. The infection at the point of writing this report was 164,244,659, with fatality of 3,404,925 across the globe. Arguably, man is not created a docile being who will be defeated by unforeseen forces without fighting back for survival. The quest to keep many areas of our daily lives active introduced a champion. The world turned to information technology to champion the cause of adaptability. There was a rapid and unprecedented adoption of information technology in the areas where many were skeptical or have not even tried. Many applications were quickly developed to help ensure we do not have a major interruption in essential daily activities with the intent of creating a livable future. Information technology have been a great force in the reshaping of the entire human endeavor since the time of research efforts of Bell Labs to support American telephone and telegraph company in the 20th century, when AT&T and US government determined to move communication from localized phone system to a network of systems that now enable communication across the globe. Information technology has been in the forefront. Though the potential was there and the infrastructure was in place in many cases, user acceptance of technology has been extremely limited in some areas like healthcare, religion, and workforce management. There have been sentiments against user acceptance, adoption, and implementation of certain form of information technology tools in some countries. Now let's look at some of the areas where information technology has been widely embraced because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The first one we're going to look at is telemedicine. Telemedicine has gained more acceptance among healthcare organizations and practitioners compared to pre-COVID-19 era, when COVID-19 began ravaging and non-pharmaceutical interventions like social distancing and the closure of public place of gathering were enforced. Telemedicine became a great vehicle for delivery of medical care to patients who may be diagnosed with non-COVID infections. Prescriptions for ailments is now common through telemedicine. Also, a patient's vital metrics may be monitored remotely via body area network and consultation done via virtual conference. So telemedicine has now been widely embraced. Intrinsically, many in the religious arena, if we are to consider the religion, will not place will not place a lighter emphasis on the place of worship when it comes to religion, and a distance from such location is considered a corresponding distance from God. Talking about placing emphasis on the place of worship, especially the building, it is expected that adherents of faith should congregate in a particular building that is dedicated for worship. So the pandemic has, however, shut all worshippers indoor at homes, and the doors of religious buildings remain locked to contain the spread of the virus. In a quest for continued fellowship, many progressive religious leaders adopted virtual conferencing for meetings and to conduct virtual religious programs. There were virtual mass choir, virtual church programs. Similarly, there were virtual programs held by other religious groups. Prior to the pandemic, any adherent of a faith who suggests such a move will not have been taken seriously. The channel is open now, and obviously, many religious leaders now see the opportunity to reach the globe and impact the faith adherents and make new converts across the globe and spread their influence beyond their local area. Now, looking at the area of governance and diplomatic efforts, we see that a lot is now achieved through virtual conferencing. Examples are the members of various committees of the United Nations holding virtual meetings to deliberate on global issues from the comfort of their local offices and home offices. Government officials at various levels in many countries of the world are doing the same. Governments of nations now hold bilateral talks via virtual conferences. The US Secretary of State Antony Blinken's virtual visit to Africa, precisely Nigeria and Kenya, in May 2021 is another example of how information technology is helping to sustain government and diplomatic activities during the pandemic. And I do believe that the effort will continue. So it's becoming the new normal. Apart from meetings, information technology has helped in real-time intelligence gathering and sharing among governments to foster national and international security. In business environments, many organizations who would not have considered remote work for their employees were compelled to embark on a test they never prepared for. The outcome has led to a wider acceptance of remote work options among the employees. Also, the fear of a drop in performance compared to when employees work on-site has reduced among the employers. Small business owners who were able to operate efficiently from home due to nature of their services may save on overhead costs of keeping employees in offices. A good advantage of remote work to many employees is the opportunity for work-life balance. Many hours spent commuting to and from work are converted to use in other valuable activities. Stress is significantly reduced for some who had to commute hours to work and from work daily. Imagine if in 2020 there was no technology that could support remote learning. All enrolled in schools, right from pre-kindergarten to postgraduate universities, will have lost an academic year. With the help of virtual and interactive platforms like Google Classroom, Canvas, Blackboard, Zoom, to mention a few, teaching and learning process were sustained. Many instructors who were not tech-savvy were forced to learn and adopt the use of interactive virtual platforms for the delivery of their instructional contents. Many present digital natives have now been introduced incredibly early into formal learning via technology-driven methods than those who have grown up. This may also open a lot of opportunities for debate and research into the appropriate age to introduce remote learning for effective teaching and learning performances. It may also help the proprietors of the technology tools to consider the customization of their tools to different age groups, thereby expanding compatibility, relevance, and user acceptance, as well as market share. The use of smart mirror in stores is a new and yet to gain popularity invention. With smart mirror, shoppers of fashions may want to try on the materials, but they will not need to try on the clothes, glasses, makeups, and the likes in the store. A shopper can just use smart mirror to try on the item and see how it looks before buying. There are more areas of information technology that have received appreciable user acceptance due to COVID-19. They need to be sustained for continued growth. And I do know that there are some other areas that man has improved simply because of the COVID-19. For more reports, remember to subscribe. Thank you.